Welcome everyone to Karmic Dynasty. I am Joya Schramm here in present day Indianapolis, Indiana, and thankful and grateful and I'm appreciative of the platforms that I am streaming to outside of my own. So, recognition and gratitude to the Emperor of Karmic Dynasty, Abdiel bin Levi El. We are streaming live to your audience, Tribe Up 777999 on YouTube. And we are also streaming to Siva, Khepra, Ptah's audiences through across Facebook and some other Facebook book outlets, platforms. So today I am here to discuss episode 4. We're going over episode 4 of A Great Teacher in Mind, Dr. Francis Cress Welsing. And today's title is Black Women Fail. And that title, as well as the others in this series, are based on the words, thoughts, and or I definitely the ideas of Dr. Francis Cress Welsing. These titles are not mine, but I'm definitely here to discuss it and look into and from the viewpoint of Dr. Francis Cress Welsing. Again, welcome and thank you all for being here. So, okay, I wanna. So, ending part 3, episode 3 was titled War Against Black Males, the men, the boys, the males. And I was ending that very strong on the men point of view, but there were some women points that I touched on. So you missed that. And or I always speak on how I came about this topic. So for how I came about this topic, you'll have to go back to episode 1. But to see where I was leading into the view and come and against women, possibly how people would say it, that was in episode 3. And war against the black males. And so that's kind of where I'm a lead into today as far as the women, addressing the women. And right now I'm going to share in just a few, I'm bringing it up, a comment from episode 4, War Against Black Males. And I'm sharing it now. There's a comment in there because I had addressed the women and a woman, she responded. So let's look right quick from the comment section. From Phoenix Jean 261. Phoenix Jean, she's something else. She says, great topic. I disagree with you that black men are getting it worse. You just gonna have to give me the business then. And as I responded to her, and she know this is what we do. She said, I was speaking of the number of days, the number of episodes my series is focused on each particular group. So man or woman, man or woman. That's the viewpoint I'm coming from. Now, to speak more on that until before I get into this quote from Dr. Francis Cress Welsing, women, we have a great weight on us. If we are to pick up our cross and claim it, we have responsibilities of a great amount of weight. And I am basing this off of one of the last points that I made in episode 3, when in the ISIS papers, Dr. Francis Cress Welsing had addressed the statistics of the increase of the single black homes led by women, and also how the majority of the schools, the teachers are women, pointing out the lack of presence of the black male man in the home. And I addressed the fact that the argument would be keeping the black man in the house But again, he can't be kept or returned to a house that he was never a part of. And how the coming together of people at times producing children does not happen in a home. So there is never a home for a man to be a part of. The home must be created first. Now, I don't know about first, but it must be created before the children. And then a consistent argument could be getting the men back in the home. But first needs to be the home before a man can return to it, is my point. So the weight is real on both sides. The men need to strengthen up, come up, stand up against the white man, and the women, we need to be there to support them as they do it. Because as they come up, we come up. This is a joint effort. This is a union, a matrimony before the wedding. How about that? Peace, peace. Hey, Cody. Hey, Cody. Hey, Cody. My BFF in this piece today, Kai Croftis. K Croftis 99. She's a moderator, a YouTube channel. Cody, my moderator too, which is the truth, the truth, the truth, the truth. My moderators in here. I appreciate y'all. Now, going more into the content. Again, Karmic Dynasty is unscripted, so I'm putting my notice up here in the corner. And I have my points I want to address because Dr. Frances Cress Welsing said these things. I'm going to her content. But other than that, unscripted around these parts. Unscripted. So this article is speaking on Black women being used to help oppress Black men. Black women. And these are the words of Frances Cress Welsing. Y'all know where I stand on this Black and white words and terms. But the article says Black women. So we talking about Dr. Frances Cress Welsing, speaking from her time. We in another line, okay? We in another place. So we speaking from her place right now. Black females must understand that we always will be oppressed. She included herself in this. She said we always will be oppressed, as will our sons and daughters. Black women, Black females. She talking to us all. She said we must is equivalent to required. You are required to understand that we will always, that's like eternity, be oppressed. As will our sons and daughters. Us, our children, oppressed for always. Do y'all hear her? You must understand. And until your understanding becomes a must, you definitely always going to be oppressed. And your sons and daughters. A lot of us, do we even recognize what our oppression is? Do you even realize the status of your children that you care for and love? And including yourself, you care for and love yourself, right? Correct? So what is the definition of oppression? What's oppressed look like to you? What is your oppressed status? Can you even see it to address it? Do you realize it to attack it? Do you even know what your oppression is? And then do you have the understanding that this is you and your children? This is us. This is us unless Black men are liberated to defend themselves. Black men are liberated to defend themselves. So who's gonna let these men go? Who gonna give these men the liberation, the freedom, the yard to liberate themselves? Where's that come from? Where the liberation come from to give them the space to defend themselves? The floor, the opportunity, the arena for defense. Where's the liberation come from? Black women, where's the liberation come from for the black men? Okay, y'all, now. Black females and black children from any and all attacks and insults. Unless black men are liberated to defend themselves, black females and black children from any and all attacks and insults. So they not only when we not only looking for the liberation arena or the liberation space for the men to defend themselves, they also need the space to defend us and our children from any and all attacks and insults. So going back to the last part of this, the first part of this sentence, Black females, we must understand that we will always be oppressed, and our sons and daughters, unless the Black men are liberated to defend themselves. Here go the math equation. Defend themselves, defend us Black females and the Black children. So they are the solution. So according to this quote, this statement from Dr. Frances Cress Welsing, Black women, Black females, this is going to be the situation until the Black men are in a position to defend themselves, to be able to defend us, to follow up and defend the children. So there's a lot of places I hear the world is waiting on us. It's like a cycle. The Black men can't defend themselves, and the women and the children till he's liberated. He can't be liberated till he get the Black female to understand that she has a role in liberating him, but he can't be liberated until we do this. Then he can defend himself, defend the women, defend the children from any and all attacks and insults. But first he needs the liberation. Black women got a hand, must do her part, so that then he can then defend himself. Y'all get it's just a cycle. Like, where do we get in here and jump in and do our part? And what is our part? And after that, once the man is liberated, how does he defend himself? What tools do he use to defend himself? How do we know when defense has been initiated? And then once he's liberated, he's in a position to defend himself. What tests and trials do we all got to go through as he exhibits his defense for the women and then the children against any and all attacks and insults? So what attacks are we looking at that he will be fighting against? What insults are we addressing and preparing for that the Black man will go through to defend? It's a cycle. Yes, we need to break in. Where's the breaking point? Not breaking point, break in point. Where's the break-in point in this cycle? Because so far, as a people, we just looking like we on the path to what one we can identify with the Trail of Tears. We just on a literal Trail of Tears because people are watching and crying. I'm using Trail of Tears today as a reference. We on this path. Or we can use this path that look like fuckery, the path of fuckery. The fuckery, fake stories. That's an attack. That's an insult. Why is there a narrative necessary for a black man killed a cop because of the cop killing? Yeah, the white cop. Was it Chicago? The man was in Chicago. Was the girl was at her prom? I was gonna go look at the article, but I ain't y'all check that out yourself. What is the need for a fake story, a fake narrative right now? Why does the system need this story at this time? During prom season, graduation, to kill the outlook of the children, to put this shadow over the celebrations that some people want to have about their children at prom and or graduation, because all that season going together. Prom, graduation, next level for those that go on to college or the military or the family business. Where they going in life? Y'all needed this narrative. The system needed that narrative. And whether the story is fake or not, this is the reason I stopped watching the news. Whether this story is fake or not, this is why I stopped watching the news. Because local news will have a mess of crap. Speaking of a mess, they will have a mess of crap on the news. On your way to work, you listening to this mess of crap. On your way to take care of your household checklist, to-do list for the day, you listening to this crap. How the east side had 5 shootings, 3 homicides on the west side, a robbery on the north side. The south side got vandalism, or somebody got shot, killed, cop incident, handcuffs. You just hear all this madness and destruction. Every day to start your day. And this was back then, so cell phone use wasn't a big deal. But today, a lot of people, you open up your cell phones. That's your news. You got all these stories scrolling. Somebody new shaking their ass today because somebody else ass shaking yesterday is old. So we got a new ass shaker in the house. And we're going to look into that on episode 5 of Dr. Francis Cress Welsing. Black women fail. I'm speaking to us. I'm speaking to y'all. But then I turn on the national news. So local news, like local schools, is giving us all a different story to start your day. School curriculums. Each school in the states is different. Every school system is different. They all teaching your children something else. So while they going into these schools, preparing for college season right now, all those children is going in that school building with different mindsets of curriculum. So you putting all that chaos and different points of view in one building, and then you want to automatically structure everybody's viewpoint into a class model of their college curriculum. And wonder why the world in a chaotic state. Like we can be different, but can we have a neutral ground somewhere? No, just keep everybody from coming from different directions on different thought patterns, and we're gonna mix them all in one pot and stir the brew. And what's the outcome of a brew? A little brew, a lot of brew, what's the outcome? Depending on your point of view. And you got the brew that'll get you sick because you're drunk. Then you got the brew that'll heal you, the herbal brew, the care of the mother. So what brew are we looking to have for our people? Women. Distractions. The beginning of the day starts with work, starts with your family in your home. What are you looking at before you go out that door into the world every day? from your cell phone. Television, radio, because even though radio is verbal audio, you still see it. Every time you hear something, you visualize a picture, image to go with the words. Words are programmed. Words are input. The output would be the image. What is going on in your space before you open that door to the world every day? Is this our break-in point? Women, Black females. You have control in your home. And once you go on the other side of that door, you out in the world, and stuff's gonna come from everywhere. Like everyday mass destruction. Because the system wanna control everything. Once you step out that door, you definitely have consented to the system controlling you and distracting you. And the distractions is mostly negativity. And this is why I stopped watching television, the news, because after I watched the local news, then come on the national news. Good Morning America, the Today Show, all that, whatever that was back then. So I don't even know what they showing today. I remember Al Roker on there, people doing the weather. Anyway, the national news started out with a hero story. Oh, it's no negative starts out this program. Hold on, I just heard about all the crimes on the north side, the crimes on the east side, downtown traffic, west side shooting, south side is just like, this is what I gotta go out. And plus there's a jam on 465. I was like, traffic jam. What? The stress. And I gotta go to work and deal with the structure, the setup of work, and the comings and goings of all the people in there I would interact with every day. And then, or before that, I'm getting my children ready for school for their day. The bus picking them up. One or two is walking to school right there. You know, like, I got enough concern about my children getting to school safely. Concerned about, is anybody going to mess with them on the bus? And then I got to think my child is, we got to pull up as a car rider. So we're going to transition from a bus rider to a car rider, because I'm ready to pull up to the school. All the time ready. You know, we got enough going on in a day before we open the door. To run out into that world. So the positivity of that national show, I was like, hold on, why the local news got to be all negative? Even the weather and the sports is negative. Ron Artest, sports. The game last night. They recapping the game last night on the day news. The weather's bad. There's an incoming tornado watch for tomorrow. Just madness. So I stopped. I don't watch TV. The narrative, first of all, my point back up here on this, even if it's a fake story, the real stories they decide to put on the news and share is madness. But apparently it ain't enough real in the world to cover the details of a similar fake of a story like this. They had to fake the story. Because I guess for the system to keep us on this program of black and white and the demonstrations, Black Lives Matter, they just got to keep this foot on the neck narrative going for some reason. Is this the season? Because you know what? Actually, It's the summertime. So what they doing, and if you want to believe it, is they are setting the tone for this summer. Black females. So and it's a direct attack on the black men. And they involving the children. I don't hear a woman in this story nowhere. Because we missing. We straight MIA. Where the women at in this news story? I'm listening. I'm waiting for a response. Give you time to think about something without hearing me talk while you think thought. Black women fail. Dr. Francis Cress Welsing says so. Black women fail. Where is the woman at in this fake news? You know how that's fake? Because ain't no woman in this story. We got the white man in this story. Carrying, exhibiting, showing all of the concerns that Dr. Francis Cress Welsing points out when it comes to the white man and his limitations. This story also discusses and talks about the white man's daughter being taken away, which means that's one person out of the equation that's not greater than the white man. Because the white man at the bottom, his women is above him. We looked at that in episode 3, War Against Black Males. So right now in this equation, in this story, the white man had to come up because the white woman, his daughter, soon to be a woman, ain't in his way. The black man's child is out the equation, a man. He would have been a man one day. That's another black man gone. And then out of the equation, getting out the white man way, the white man clearing the path in this story. So he got the white woman out the way. He got the soon-to-be black man out the way. The dad's a black man. He going away for some time, out the way. So then that makes room for the white man to be on the stage with the black woman. She the only one left in the non-white. She the only one left in this equation to coming to the stage. So then the white man won't face the black woman one day. That's this story saying. Setting the tone for this summer and setting the stage for the white man and the black woman. Which means what? We're going to see an increase in these interracial relationships. Black females. We must understand we will always be oppressed as well as our children unless and until the black man is liberated. Where the quote at? Is liberated to defend themselves and the black females and the black children from any and all attacks and insults. Going into the ISIS papers, and I'm not going to bring it up because it ain't even, I'm not. There's a chapter on motherfuckers. And the overall viewpoint, and from what I've heard in feedback to this series, is the black women are the mothers. We are mothers of the civilization. And the white men, when they with us, those of us who let them be with us, they are fucking the mothers. They are the motherfuckers, the real ones. The white men are the real motherfuckers. This is setting the stage. How many times we gonna hear motherfucker this summer? Motherfucker is really low key an anthem for the unification, the uniting of the white man and the black woman. Just to be producing these children that's gonna look like the mother. Because the children gonna come out with them brown tones, them red bones. So those black women, black females getting with these white men and having children, you're responsible. Some all women don't have children, but definitely. So in theory, the women that are able to have children, and they have them with the white men, the black women, children with the white men, y'all is reducing our population. To an extent, because the child is yours, so it's a non-white. But the image of us as a people, y'all are reducing the population. Y'all supposed to be creating life. Y'all creating death of a people. And when I say y'all is reducing our population, because our population, the homes are built up with a black man and a black woman in it, not a black man, not a white man, with a black woman and a child that looks like his mother, black, non-white. Black females, we are reducing our population. We are reducing the opportunity for the black male to be liberated because we're producing less black males. We are downsizing our camp. We are downsizing our military front. We are reducing the numbers in our military by having less black sons, with the black man in the home, not the white man, with your black son that look like you, and I look as like you because the daddy white. I've been seeing them lately I be thumbs down in that shit. And then I just come out because they be so disgusting looking. It's called the before marrying a black woman, after marrying a black woman. They using y'all as a damn come up. They had to intermix or die. They just don't have no choice. Either way, they eliminate it because mixing is eliminating. But I guess they rather mix than have a 2-parent white child and that child die anyway. And everything after, they rather just give up, they sacrifice they seed. We gonna live in some manner around this piece. But black women, the way y'all is blowing up these men, the before and after on their ass, y'all's like a damn you might as well open a goddamn string of salons. Before and after pictures. Like before you get your hair done, after you get your hair done. Before you put your makeup on, after you put your makeup. The before and after pictures. Before you go to the gym, after you go to the gym, months later. Before you start eating fruits and vegetables, after you stop eating all that junk, desserts, chips. I mean, there's this word I'm looking for, but basically, black women, y'all's an in and outdoor. to a y'all know where I'm at. Black women, the system has set up for you to be a shop, a makeover shop. That's what y'all are. Y'all is the makeover. Y'all got these white men overall. First of all, they with you, so that's they first come up. They ain't with a white woman, because the white woman is in between the black female and the white male. So they overstep the white women as, because first of all, what they need them for. They can't produce them and keep them their bloodline going. So they gonna step over the white woman ass and level up to the black woman, and then get a glow up, a makeover. Cause I'm done talking about that. I'm just done. Black women, I'm gonna go back into this quote before I go into, you know what I mean? Just the shop. Y'all is the fucking shop. The first lessons to Black women were harsh and cruel ones of sexual assault and abuse, taking their children away and forcing them to watch their men being lynched and castrated. The first lessons to Black women were harsh and cruel. There was sexual assault and abuse. Black women, we've been sexually assaulted and abused. Are we looking at the people, speaking of imagery and fake news, are we looking at the real news of the effects of the sexual assaults of the women before us and the abuse and who did it? What was that about? And have we healed from that? How do we heal? We got some healing to do. Black women, you failing. You're not healing yourselves. I mentioned that brew earlier. The brew that's going to intoxicate you and have you drunk, or is you going with the brew with the herbs that's going to heal you? What y'all going to do? What are y'all doing? What are we doing? Because the men still getting lynched. Still getting lynched. Still getting lynched. And as we going to look at in episode 5, with all this dancing and clowning, as Dr. Francis Cress Welsing says, dancing and clowning. We still allow sexual assault and abuse. Black women. And our children are still being forced to watch their men being lynched and castrated. Still, how the Black men are being lynched and castrated, sometimes symbolically through like trends on TikTok. The women is with the white man. So the Black man starting to feel more and more like he has no place, because there's actually less places to be when the white man's standing in their place. There's less space for him to be in. His slots are being eliminated. We still have our children taken away and into the media. And in the media, they're being forced to watch the men, the Black men, being lynched and castrated, like this fake cop story, fake or real. This is a lynching story. This is a castration story. First of all, they took this Black man's Black son away from him. His seed, castration. And y'all already know this is real story. He going to jail. That's the lynching. And it was a cop too. Accordingly, and according to the familiar narrative, he gonna get fucked up in that jail, from arrest to the last day of his sentence, for killing this white cop's daughter. And the break-in point is where we not gonna change. And you know what? The day of change comes. All this stuff in the meantime is the cleanup. I talked about the cleanup last episode. For us to be the change, and we get in position, everything up to that point, we go in and we do our part to help the change. There's going to be a cleanup operation. Who's going to help clean up so we can go into our next stage of assisting the Black men in being liberated, so they can defend themselves, so they can defend us, so they can defend the Black children? With the change, there is work to be done. So what's the problem? People not changing because they don't want to do no cleaning. They don't want to do no work. Just like in many of these households and in our communities and in our homes, some people just lazy. They don't want to do no work. Clean up. A broom. What's a broom? A mop. How that work? How that work? Pick up. Pick up what? Pick up. They got an app for that? Make my bed. They got an app for that? Do some work. Nah, I don't know what you mean. They got an app for that? People ain't trying to do no work. With change come the cleanup, change something. And why I bet you anything you change, there was a cleanup process in there. People ain't big on cleaning up these days. People ain't big on that. Where did we get messy at? Was it in the sexual assaults of us Black women and the abuse? Where we get messy at? Because we was too busy recovering and dealing with and processing our children being taken away and forced to watch their daddies. How about that? We read this like this. The first lessons to Black mamas, the first lesson to Black mothers, the first lesson to Black mothers, the mamas, were harsh and cruel ones. Us Black mothers, us Black mamas, we were sexually assaulted. Us Black mothers, us Black mamas, we were abused. They took our children away. And they forced our sons and our daughters, our baby girls, our baby boys. They was forced to watch their daddy, our Black men, be lynched. Lynched and castrated. Who gonna sit and watch? What is we looking like while the men is being lynched and castrated? How that look? What is going through our mind? How many of the children are crying? How many of the mamas passed out? How many of the mamas fought back and had to deal with some term of abuse and or sexual assault because she's not watching her husband? The children is running up behind the mama. How many families, how many of us have been not healed yet from this process that happened? Is that where our self-respect and dignity went? into the situation. Our self-respect, our dignity was fighting back and standing up together. What happened? They raped it out of us. In the moment of the rape, our respect and dignity stayed in that moment. That our protection mode and our safety mode and our collective and inner peace mode come in and wipe out, knock out self-dignity and respect, self-respect and dignity. Trauma. When you get hit in one direction, your body reacts. When you get hit mentally, your mentality reacts. When you get hit in any manner, your body responds. Inner, outer, overall response. So somewhere in them responses, the self-respect and dignity was knocked out or covered up. Because another area of us needed strength. So that strength to come in and cover that area, knocked out and or covered up the self-dignity, the self-respect. Trauma. Where are the healing rooms at? Women, mothers, creators of life, where are the healing rooms? The vessels. Because not all of us were traumatized in this manner. So where was we at? Where were the healers at? Where were the healing rooms at? Who dropped the ball? No pun intended. Castration. Who dropped the ball? But then these harsh lessons were followed by milder treatment. So they lessened up on us. They said, okay, we gave y'all the business. It was real harsh. Now we're going to calm down on y'all. The women, we gonna be best with you. And we gonna give the black men the lesser of the mild end of the spectrum. Black women were given extra food. What they talking about here? The food stamp program. Black women were given extra food and money. The cash assistance program that complements the food stamp program. Clothing. Because now you got some extra money, you can get you some clothing. And then with the food stamp program and the cash assistance program that complements it comes other programs like clothing pantries, giveaways, gifts, et cetera, et cetera. With the other gifts. For what? For their special favors to the enslavers. Y'all gave them favor by accepting these gifts. Black women, you gave them favor. And apparently with the key that the black man is to this equation, he got knocked down a couple levels. And the fact that y'all consented to it meant that it was okay and you deserted him. Black women, we deserted the black men by accepting these gifts. And by accepting the gift, that was a special favor to your enslaver. You giving favors to the white man? Was you on your knees when you did it or no? Giving favor to the white man, your enslaver. We turned in our black daddies. We turned in our black men. We turned in our children too, because it affects our children. We turned in ourselves for extra food. Extra means in addition to, which means you had enough food. What you need extra for? That's why y'all fat now. You need extra food for. And health is on my tip. We're going to talk about y'all this health too. You need extra food for. And extra money for. You need extra money for. I hear somebody like, duh, bitch, what you mean? What I need extra money for? I got things to do. Okay, this timeline happened, and the happening of it was before I was born. So since that time, people been getting extra money, and what y'all got to show for it. So that's why I say what you need extra money for, because we got what to show for it. Black women, you got what to show for the extra money that was in this timeline, the timeline of these events. And again, Dr. Frances Cress Welsing wrote this. This was in the 70s, where her quotes was and statistics was brought forward. On average, definitely the 70s, she had these thoughts. Definitely in the 70s, without her thoughts or not, was the food stamp program and the cash assistance program. What have we done to show as a people for the extra money that we receive? To go along with the extra food that's already in your refrigerator and your cabinets, you needed that much more extra food. Extra clothing for what? You ain't have no job. Where's you going? You on the food stamp program, you got a part-time job at best. I don't know. But you got extra food, extra money. You got extra clothing. To go where? The club? You took the money, go to the club. You took the money to buy you some drugs. You took the money, where the fuck you did, and you ignored your children, and you ignored and abused the black man and pushed his ass out the goddamn back door. For what? And other gifts? What is going on? Ain't nothing changed. It's just a cycle, like the other cycle. The black man need a liberation to be in defense mode, to protect himself and the women and the black children. But he need that support. The women must also understand that they will also be oppressed, as well as our children, unless the black men are liberated to defend themselves. But to defend themselves, he needs the understanding of the black women, because this is goddamn cycle. Ain't nothing changed. Y'all got the extra food, the extra money, the extra clothing, and other gifts. For what? More food, more gym memberships. So you need the money for your gym membership because you ate too much food. You took your ass to the club, getting that with that extra clothing and other gifts. You had money to show your ass up and get a free drink or two, take your drunk ass home, do the same goddamn thing the next day. Either way, whatever you was doing with that extra food, extra money, extra clothing, other gifts, you was ignoring, abusing, and abandoning your children and pushing your man, the black man, your husband, and they daddies, your kids' daddies, out the goddamn back door. It's a cycle. Like, where is the break-in point? Not breaking point, break-in point. They were rewarded for correctly teaching their children to conform to the enslaver's wishes. They were rewarded for correctly teaching their children to conform to the enslaver's wishes. You know what I mean? You raise your child up by example on how to get in line when they get grown and get their food stamp card. Do your application, get your cash assistance, get you some extra clothing, get you some other gifts. Teach your children how to do this. Push your man out the back door, either literally and or by not including him at all, which keeps him out the home, because you got a white man in your house, in your life, long enough to have those children. Then get your food stamps. Increase the food stamps. More children, increase. Less income, increase. But you're going to get some cash assistance, which is Section 8, public housing, pay a utility or two. These days, you need the extra money for your cell phone bill and your internet. people. It's getting worse. It changed. It's been a change. Things change. They're getting worse. Changing for the worse. The women were rewarded for correctly. So the extra food, the money, the clothing, and other gifts, those was the rewards for correctly making this a generational event. Each generation gonna get on them food stamps. Each generation gonna get their cash assistance. Black mamas, we were rewarded correctly, generously. But y'all got a problem with homeschool. But this is one of those extracurricular classes, teaching your children how to be a part of the system. Food stamps, cash assistance, keep the black man out the house, out the home. That was extra credit. That was an extra curriculum class. Generational wealth, y'all want to call it. This y'all generational wealth. Food stamps, cash assistance, extra clothes, other gifts. The reward is great. Let's talk about rewards in heaven. I hear y'all. I got something for y'all. I don't know, I addressed them Bible church women in the last episode. The reward is greater than heaven here on earth. Food stamp program, Section 8, public housing, and an app for cleaning up shit. They got an app for that. Anybody clean up shit? Shit's changing for the worse. And not only were you rewarded correctly for teaching your children this shit and conforming to your enslavers' wishes, you was also rewarded for telling the children's daddy, your black husband, your black father of your children, your mate, I hate that word, mate, your counterpart, your go-to guy, that black man, you was also rewarded for telling him to calm down and be patient so that they too could be rewarded. Now, you know what? When he gonna get his reward? And the key words here is two, so that they too could be. Okay, so when do it be? When the black man get his reward? After all this trial and error that us black women done been systemized to put their ass through, and the break-in point comes and we know how to clean up our goddamn mess, then the black man can be liberated to defend himself and us black women and the black children. His reward is getting back his position. In the meantime, until he's rewarded back his position, and we got the reward of extra food, because the black men want all our fat asses. The black man, he want to pay for all these gym memberships. And when you in the gym, losing weight is most people's objective. So that means you need new clothes in your closet because you can no longer fit that size 14. You now a size 10. But you know what? The thing is, when the man has his position back, all this shit we talking about right now don't exist. It's gone. Everything is in a place of reward. Because no, the black man don't want all our fat asses and to pay all our gym memberships. And we get a whole wardrobe of new clothes because the old shit don't fit no more. The white man don't fit no more. All these circumstances expire because they don't fit no more. And our refrigerators, our kitchen pantries and cabinets ain't full of little Debbie cakes and Doritos no more. Because that's the extra food you was given. That's what the food stamps is for. To buy all them special, pretty ass, colorful treats they put on them goddamn shelves for your fat ass. Your unhealthy ass. Because you ain't taking care of yourself physically because you got mental trauma as a factor. Mental trauma because you were sexually abused. Black woman, sexually assaulted and abused. And your children watched their daddies be lynched. That's trauma. You got to console your child because they just watched their daddy die. You got to console your child that they just stood in the center of town, white people picnicking and taking postcards with the pick a nigga on the goddamn card and sending to their family member across the goddamn nation. Et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But y'all sitting there, yes, a master, yes, a boss. Let me talk to my husband. Let me tell him that you too could be rewarded. You could be. You might be. You if a be. You could be. You might be. You if be. You could be. Peace, Saturn's daughter. Peace, peace, peace. We had the audacity to tell our black men that they could be rewarded. What's sad is y'all black women with y'all fake rewards. Y'all black women with, do y'all hear me talking? Y'all black women. Y'all, it ain't all of us. Y'all black women with y'all rewards. Them ain't rewards. That's called hush money. There's parts and places where we from, that's called hush money. Hush your ass up, scoot the fuck over, let my white man ass have the fucking appearance that I'm having to come up and that I'm in power and position over y'all. Nigga. White man, nigga. You will never, I don't care how many fairy tales you fucking tell yourself, how many Disney movies you have come the fuck out, you will not ever in reality have a come up. You always gonna be at the bottom of the fucking totem pole. The fucking damn, what they call that? Your ass gonna be down there. What's that? What's that? Fertilizer. White man, nigga. You always gonna be at the bottom of the totem pole. The fertilizer, where the totem pole stick in and hold up, put some cement over. How they do totem poles? I guess I'll go research that and find out for clarity. But white man, your ass is always gonna be at the bottom, the fertilizer of the totem pole. And the symbolism of the totem pole, you have your part because you help hold things in place at the base. That's why your ass down there at the bottom. Just be the shit and maintain and contain the shit that you are. You was created for a reason. Maintain your position. Because the come up is real. Up the totem pole. It's a story in them totem poles. It's life in them totem poles. And down there in your fertilizer status, you somehow convinced a great people by way of the woman, the black woman, that her reward in this life is extra food, extra money, fake fiat, a piece of paper with one of y'all dead white motherfuckers on it. You convinced extra clothing. We need only extra clothing because we cover up that extra weight from that extra food. White man fertilizer status. We ain't never needed nothing extra. We is the everything. We is already complete. Definitely did a mental breakdown on us through sexual assault and abuse to even get in our minds to convince us that we needed anything extra. We are the I am. We are the all. And with our black man, that's the completion. This is the inclusion. We are one. We are the all. What the fuck is an extra? Y'all know what? I already don't fuck with time. It's not real. It don't exist. I don't fuck with space. It ain't real. It don't exist. Now I've included on there extra. Extra is not real. It does not exist. Y'all need to get rid of that fucking extra in your vocabulary. And without a white man in his place as the foundation, that's how the fuck we fail, because he got out of his fucking he wiggled, squiggled his ass out of his foundation of the fertilizer, and the fucking building started fucking falling. The totem poles came down, our stories, oral stories and traditions came down. Fuck you need a wrecking ball for? All you gotta do is figure out the word extra, paint a picture, and deliver it to the people through their women after you abuse them and neglect them. It's a straight war zone. And the black women's anthem is the word extra. Y'all being extra. The hell? Extra. No, God, what you doing with some extra? Oh, dear. Extra white man, the intercourse. I'm going to read right here in this story on this line. This is page 150 of the ISIS papers. This is talking about smoking. This chapter is called The Symbolism of Smoking Objects. Right now, since we talk about white men and their children, of course, there would be sex, intercourse. We talk about sexual assault. There's the intercourse, the sex. Here is one is also reminded of the underground saying in the white male culture that one is not a man until he has had sexual intercourse with a black female, meaning until he has demonstrated that his white phallus, penis, cock, pee-pee, is as adequate as that of the black male. He is not a man until he has demonstrated that his white phallus is as adequate as that of the black male. That's a forever demonstration, because your phallus ain't never going to be as adequate as the black males. It's all an illusion. Talk about mental issues. The white man got mental issues. Your phallus ain't never going to be as adequate as the black man. But you can paint that pretty picture and make it a belief system, long as you got a black woman to enter into. Black women fail. Quote from Dr. Francis Cress Welsing. Black women fail. Y'all don't see the war zone. Y'all don't see the casualties on the field. Y'all don't see the weapons, the tanks coming, the vehicles in flight across the field. Y'all don't see the war zone out here? Because you too busy pulled up at the table of extra. always comes back to the black man. Because again, we're going to be oppressed and our children until the black man is liberated to defend themselves, us, and our children. Black women fail. We have a hand in this. Where is the break-in point? Until that time, the white man is going to lead by his illusion and his mental meltdown and his belief system, because he aims high. That totem pole is high above his ass. He aiming high, straight to the black man. And he gonna live the rest of his duration till the black man get back in his position on the thought that one day my phallus is gonna be as adequate as the black man. In a world where size matters. With their mental issues, size matters. That's how they can get away with delivering black women as the word extra. Because size matters. In the mental meltdown, breakdown of the white man, size matters. Need a little extra cock on it. He need a little extra cock in there. A little extra phallus. Just a little bit extra. And what they say, give them an inch, they take a yard. Is that how they go? So as soon as we get that white man enough think he got a phallus adequate to the black man, then he just gonna want another yard. So he gonna take another inch. And the black woman, she ain't even in a way to give it to him. She over at the table of extra. So the white man just walking through. He ain't gotta get permission from nobody. He ain't gotta get access from nobody. He ain't got to stop at no checkpoints. Because the black woman at the table are extra. So the white man ass going to keep coming in, getting an inch, grabbing another yard, a yard of phallus here, a yard of phallus there. Yards of phallus everywhere. Tired of that, case in point. Okay. Taking all bets. Who in on the bet? Candace Owens. Back to the black man. Her choice is where? That's a good bet. Get that money. Get that money. Understanding the above symbolism will explain further an advertisement for more cigarettes. Anyway, this is about something else. I don't even want to look at that right now. I ain't dealing with it. I ain't dealing with it. Let's roll with this right now. Because this statement right here summarizes the whole point of today's episode of the Dr. Francis Cress Welsing series. This is episode 4. Single black women. I addressed it. Beat that up a little bit. Homeschool. So I'm gonna make my points and then I'm leaving here. Make my points and I'm leaving. Smoking, drugs is alcohol, but some of y'all don't, so I'm gonna say it all out. It's drug. Alcohol is drugs. We need to stop with the alcohol, the drugs, the smoking, the overall better health. We are an example to our children. And in doing it alone, we don't have the backup of the black men with us overall. So women right now, one of the breaking points will be cleaning up your mess. Clean up your mess. Clean up your mess. Clean up your mess. Because right now your mess is in the position, the black man's position, him coming to his position, his reward is getting his place back. Ain't that a shame? Right now in his place is your mess. Clean your shit up. Clean up your need for the system extras, which includes the alcohol, the drugs brought in the community. the extra food. We're looking at overall health. Clean it up. Go locate yourself, one of the healing mothers. Because again, all of us Black women do not have children. We can't have children. We don't have children. Some of us Black women are the healers, but we were sexually assaulted, have been sexually assaulted and or abused. There are the healing mothers out there who have the space to take you in and help you heal. Get up off your ass, get off that couch, get out your mental status or your Michael Kors purse weighing you down, your bags is weighing you down. Go get you a healing place. The first law of nature is self-preservation. Preserve yourself. All the time we hear the Black woman lectures, you can't take care of nobody properly till you take care of yourself first. The break-in point is Black women, you fail because you're not taking care of yourself first. Do that. Do that. Get out them church buildings because God don't need your money. You took that extra money, put it in the church. Put it into yourself. Take care of yourself first so you can take care of your children, because the women and children is grouped together. Take care of yourself so you can take care of your children, and then the Black man will have that space cleared out so he can stand in his position. That's the liberation. His stage is dusty. Clean up after y'all asses, Black women, so the Black man can walk back up to his place and finish this cycle, because he is liberated. He is in a position to defend himself and the woman and the children. We can move forward. Black women, I also need us to stop, get you some knowledge before you just jump in them doctor's office and hospitals, because the percentage of single Black women households is increasing, as well as them C-sections. Go to a healing place. Doulas exist for a reason. My contact information is in the ticker below. It's going across your screen. If you ever have any questions, you need a resource, contact me. If I don't know it or do it, or you can't stand my ass up here talking crazy to you and or nobody else, I know people who like it. Email me. Ain't no conversation. You ain't got to hear from me. You ain't got to talk to me. Email me. I'll email you your resource and you go heal yourself. Gone. Y'all don't want to homeschool, but you're giving your children these extracurricular on classes on the system and how to accept extras in their life. Homeschool, I don't want to hear them arguments. I don't block people. I got to be at work. I can't homeschool. I don't got time. I can't homeschool. I got to be at work. You create your own time, your own calendar. So if your child's class and is different types of learning. So if your child class is from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. every day, that's just the way it is. If your child's learning consists of self-taught, that's just the way it is. I ain't good at math. I can't give my class no math, my child no classes. I can't homeschool. You don't need to be good at math. Somebody else can teach your child. Group, homeschool, co-ops, and you create the curriculum. You don't have to go to the system and go shopping or to their websites and get their curriculum and bring it in your home. You create. If you just want your child to learn about grass, trees, that's all your child's curriculum going to consist of. Because in just learning about grass and trees, there's math, there's science. The sciences come into play in everything. You just want your child in the kitchen baking cookies all day. That's their curriculum. There's math in the kitchen. There's science in the kitchen. I need y'all to come out of the standardized way of looking at the goddamn school system. Use school. Case in point. I like that. Common man. Case in point. Case in point. As I mentioned earlier, the news globally is not the same. We're all taking in different news. The teachings, the curriculum, the schools globally are not all the same. Not even in your state, in your county is the children learning the same thing. They'll present them something, but what each child gets out of it is different. Don't get caught up in the falsehoods that you need the system in any part to tell you what your child's supposed to be learning. Don't do it. Put them in a safe place, a healing place. Because them school buildings is traumatic. From the bus stops to the bus stop when they get back home. Or the car ride, the bus ride from your door to return to your door is a trauma for them children. Healing place. Get you one. C-section, bottom line, no excuses. I'm just done talking. No excuses. Take care of yourself first, Black women, because this title, Black Women Fail, is an obstacle. Because of the word extra. And a part of that extra package that they prettied up and put a big pretty bow on for your ass includes the word excuses. Time don't exist for me. Space don't exist. Extra don't exist. And excuses don't exist. I am Joyous Ron from present day Indianapolis, here on the Karmic Dynasty platform, the Tribe Up 777999 platforms, and the platforms of Khepra Ptah. I will see you all for episode 5 of the Dr. Francis Cress Welsing. Enjoy your day. Enjoy getting yourself together. Enjoy your self-preservation. Enjoy your self-preservation.